Skylanders Superchargers introduced vehicles as the main gimmick of the game, outfitted with rift engines enabling them to travel between various locations. The vehicles served a very important role in that game's story, and personally I think the vehicle sections were a great way to diversify the gameplay of Superchargers, as the fast pace of the vehicles make their respective boss battles and challenges more frantic and fun. Oh yeah, and Superchargers racing is there too. But of the many Superchargers vehicles, one ancient question arises. Which ones are my favorites? To celebrate Skylanders Superchargers' 10th anniversary of driving evil crazy, these are my top 5 favorite Skylanders Superchargers vehicles. Only major rule is that this video is entirely my personal opinion. What you think is a good Skylanders vehicle differs from person to person, and that's absolutely okay. I just want to share my silly personal thoughts on what vehicles I enjoy playing the most. Anyway, let's step on the gas and drive into the countdown. With my top 4 being very easy to lock down, I was struggling to decide whether the Burn Cycle or the Sea Shadow should take the bottom spot of this list, as both vehicles have great handling and interesting and unique abilities. It honestly really came down to design in the end, as I love the subtle metallic look of the Sea Shadow with its dark purples, and Science matching his enigmatic pilot's Nightfall, along with a bright orange glow in its mouth adding a great contrast. It looks like a manta ray squished down, sure, but it's a very angular and intimidating design, perfect for the sole dark vehicle of the game. Its abilities are also great too, featuring a useful black hole move to keep enemies at bay, along with tracking dark orbs that have quite the long range, meaning you can engage in crowd control by entrapping enemies in black holes, then using the orbs to take out any other surrounding enemy. The killer design is really the sole reason why the Sea Shadow is even on the list, but the vehicle's fun gameplay makes it all worth it.
Sky Slicer.
The Sky Slicer is the living embodiment of its respective pilot Stormblade, sharp and angular design, ridiculously speedy, and a familiar spam to win Feather Fury primary attack. But easily my favorite thing about the Sky Slicer is its secondary move, the Pigeon Flock missiles. Simply have a bunch of ships in range, then some tracking missiles will shoot out, severely damaging multiple ships. The downside is that it does take a long time to reload, but with a Feather Fury move you can pick out each of the damaged ships one by one. Awesome Sky vehicle. Just one thing though. Can't be the only one that noticed that, right? From the day I first purchased the Dive Bomber that won Debenhams a decade ago, I always had a sea of fun with this vehicle, pun intended. The bulky design with the torpedoes at the bottom reinforces yet refines the classic submarine look, and the predominant blue shades of the secondary colors of green and white is simply luscious. The play feature where you spin the hatch up the top and it moves back with the propeller is a neat touch, and I love it when Sea and Sky vehicles get to have some kind of play functionality outside the games. But even in-game, the Dive Bomber is simple but deadly effective, having a decent but precise medium-range primary attack to stop enemies in their tracks, along with the sonar move being simply incredible. I can see why the Dive Bomber is the poster child for the sea vehicles, as it gave me an amazing first impression of that vehicle subcategory. The Dive Bomber was always my all-time favorite sea vehicle even before I got my hands on its matching driver Diveclop 6 years down the line. When I got back into Skylanders in 2021, I wasn't able to play Superchargers because my original copy was scratched beyond belief, so I had to purchase a new copy for Wii U. However, I stumbled across a deal on eBay where the copy also included the Sea Shadow and the Jetstream, and the moment I tried the Jetstream, I fell in love instantly. Being the trusty dirigible of my favorite Air Skylander jetpack, I already took a relative liking to the vehicle. But when I started testing it during my first replay of Superchargers in essentially 4 years, I was addicted. The rebounding projectiles that bounces off multiple enemies and the vacuum bomb having a large amount of range, mwah, all chef's kiss. The Jetstream single-handedly reminded me how fun and diverse the vehicles truly were, and has since flown into my little nest of favorite Superchargers vehicles. However, the Jetstream wasn't the egg that hatched first. Well, that analogy became obnoxious.
Master.
Like the rest of the Skylanders community, my favorite vehicle is the one that came in the starter pack, but it's not the hot streak. Enter the Barrel Blaster. The Barrel Blaster gave me the best first impression of the vehicles I could have ever asked for. The tracking long-range barrel shots that are satisfying to use? Check. The barrel rolls that help with crowd control as well as being the most effective repellent to those annoying chompy cars? Check. Being of a tech element? A neat bonus. The Barrel Blaster to me is the perfect Superchargers vehicle, requiring a moderate amount of skill to make use of effectively while being easy to pick up and play. Sadly, we are about to cross the finish line of this countdown, but tell me, what are your favorite Skylanders Superchargers vehicles and why? I'm open to any opinions. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.